If we could be honest, the worst part of narcissism are its effects on generations after the person. Narcissists don't happen in a vacuum. They are raised, and after they are raised, if they are not addressed, if the issues are not addressed, they pass it on like a virus. They pass on their behavior, their crazy making, their manipulation. They pass it all down to their children that they don't care about, that are simply extensions of themselves. They pass it down to their other family members, to friends. And generation after generation, we're forced to deal with it. In this video, I want to talk about my mother, or really the codependent mother, because that's probably one of the worst things, is that narcissists attach themselves to people who enable them, or they groom them to enable them in their behavior and in their pathology, and then they can do no wrong. Their crimes go undealt with. So the codependent mother is the mother that enables the narcissistic father. They don't know that they are ill in their mind. They don't know that they are incapable of addressing what's going on in the home. They simply pretend that everything's okay. They don't acknowledge that there's anything wrong with the narcissist. According to the codependent mother, life is good, because this is what they consider to be love. Abuse is what they have known to be love. Codependent mothers create empathic and codependent daughters. Sons eventually, they usually deal with a load of depression, and they usually get out of that mode when they leave the home and have their own family. But the daughters learn to reject themselves, reject their needs, and to serve only the narcissist, and to serve narcissistic or unhealthy or toxic people in their life. They associate love with abuse. Children associate abuse or crazy making as normal. They don't know love outside of drama and a roller coaster of emotions. They don't know love outside of screaming, and they consider screaming to be passion. They don't know anything outside of unhealthy behavior. Codependent mothers live with a severe form of cognitive dissonance. They can't survive otherwise. They pretend to be strong. Maybe they lead a very strong work life. Maybe they go to work and they're knocking down all types of doors and gaining much success in their work life. But they come home and they enable the narcissist to abuse them and to abuse their family. They pretend to protect the children. They think they can. They think that their conversations privately with the narcissist mean that after the narcissist has beat the children or screamed at them or picked on them and belittled them, they think that having a conversation with the narcissist afterward is protecting the child, but it's not. They choose the narcissist over the child or the children every time in order to protect their own pathological emotional issues. They lead strong, independent lives, and yet they give everything that they have to the narcissist without a thank you. They cannot address family problems at the root. They have to pretend everything is good. Otherwise, they would have to acknowledge their part, their contribution to the abuse, and that would destroy them. So they create codependent daughters who watch their mothers take the abuse day after day, watch their mothers say nothing when the narcissist criticizes them, watches the mother reduce herself to nothing. And they take after that. They learn that. They learn to deny their own even human needs, deny their emotional needs, deny their need for respect and acknowledgement and love and care. And they simply constantly give it to the narcissist or toxic people in their life. And those are the people they attract. Every relationship becomes narcissistic. It becomes this trauma bond of, oh, one day we're good, and the next day we're yelling at each other and drinking ourselves to death. So they struggle to protect themselves from narcissists and psychopaths because they don't know anything different. They know there's something wrong, but they don't know how to get out of the hole. If they don't educate themselves, they don't know how to get out of that hole of abuse. They lack self-respect and self-love because it was denied them as children. They cannot free themselves from a life of abuse. They are constantly rejecting themselves and their needs, and repeating the pattern of rejecting the needs of their children for the sake of pacifying the narcissist. They live in a world of false and temporary happiness. Empathic daughters, which are the other side of intuitive and empathic children, they struggle to feel loved. I find myself on the spectrum. We struggle to feel loved and to develop our own self-identity because we spend our whole childhood identifying with what the narcissist was saying and doing, which wasn't even their own person. We spend our life giving to people who don't reciprocate the love and the respect and the admiration we give. And sometimes that develops into resentment of other people, resentment of relationships, loneliness. This deep void of loneliness, of seeking people who will contribute to a relationship. They struggle to differentiate themselves from others. That's one of the downfalls of empathy, is that when you are deeply empathic, it's difficult to separate what is your feeling from what is the feeling of others. And we realize sooner or later that abuse is not normal, but it's laid its effect so strongly, it takes a long time. It takes the rest of our adult life to recover. But the benefit is that once we wake up from this codependent, narcissistic cycle, we can survive. We can recover and be healthy. There are 7 billion people on the earth today. Most of them are not narcissistic. Most of them are not completely self-absorbed. Most of them are looking for the same thing you and I are. They're looking for someone to love them and someone to love. Please leave a comment down below with your experience if you like this content. Like it, subscribe to my videos because I post once or twice a week. And let me know what your experience is in this area with a codependent mother, a codependent sister or father or whatever. And encourage someone down in the comments below. I'm sending you a big hug, and I will see you in the next video.